Hello and welcome to Spotlight on Education. I'm Dr. Jon Kopko, Superintendent of the East Brunswick Public Schools, and your host for the program. On behalf of everyone associated with our schools here in East Brunswick, I'd like to wish our audience a very, very happy New Year and a safe New Year as well. It seems very appropriate that our first topic of the year will deal a little bit with the future of our schools. What we're going to be focusing on today is technology for tomorrow. And my two guests are, first of all, Dr. Evelyn Ogden, who is our Deputy Superintendent of Schools, and Mr. Hank Stankiewicz, who is our District Supervisor of Technology, Business, and Computer Education. Welcome to both of you today. Much of the planning for technology in our school district is being addressed by our Technology Committee. And I'm wondering, Evelyn, if you could give us some background information about the committee and the formation of the committee and some of the work that they've been doing.
Well, of course, we've been using some technology in the district for many years. But starting last year, we decided to broaden the input in terms of technology and come up with a plan that would extend into the next century. The committee that was formed includes teachers, administrators, parents, and people from the community. And the committee worked last year. We did a number of things to determine where we are in terms of technology and where we want to go. One of the things we did was to survey our students and to determine how many of them were using technology at home. And it turns out about 75% of our students have computers at home. Some of those may be very old ones, and some of them are very state-of-the-art. An interesting thing we found, we hear constantly that we're preparing students to work in the 20th century where they will work with computers. But what we found out was that 85% of our parents already work almost daily with computers. So the future is now in East Brunswick. We found also that our teachers use technology at home, but not as often as our students, and don't have as much access as some of our students do to it. We also looked at how much students use technology within our buildings, and we have some great examples of how technology can aid in instruction. However, the average elementary student, turns out, only works on a computer in school less than 10 minutes per week, which isn't very much. We've also gone out with the committee and visited other school districts to see how they're using technology. Now, unfortunately, we had to come to the conclusion that we're really quite behind most of our neighboring districts, and certainly behind some of the districts across the state that have made this a focus. Developing the plan for how to really use technology took really all of last year. We came up with an interim plan, and the board placed $400,000 in the budget for technology for this year. Prior to that, we've been spending about $10,000 a year, which, as you can imagine, doesn't go very far when you're talking about technology.
Hank, what are some of the items that have been purchased with these funds?
Okay, as Dr. Ogden just mentioned, the first year plan allowed us to spend approximately $400,000 for technology in the district. And what we attempted to do was to place as much technology in the hands of students and staff as possible. And in order to do that, the committee decided that we ought to equip each of the elementary school media centers with one multimedia workstation that included a large hard disk, a large monitor, sound card and speakers, and CD-ROM technology to allow the media center specialists to instruct students on the use of technology. The station also served double duty because the students could also utilize it when the media center specialist wasn't doing the instruction. We also purchased a large screen projection device so that when the media center specialist was doing instruction, lots of students, a whole class of students, could see the technology at one time. And some of the things that they would be using in there would be the Grolliers and Compton's Multimedia Encyclopedia and lots of specific CD technology. Hammersholt and Churchill and also the high school were also scheduled to be upgraded, the media centers we're talking about. And in those we purchased several new multimedia workstations. We purchased new high-speed servers for each of the media centers, and also CD towers, which would allow multi-station access to individual CDs, which alleviates the lines that used to form in front of the workstations. We also upgraded several new labs, one of which you'll be seeing a little bit later, the Hammersholt Macintosh lab. We also upgraded the high school graphics lab, and we also upgraded and put computers into 6 science labs at the high school. We were also able to purchase computers, Laserdisc players, TV monitors, and other equipment for some selected social studies classes. We were able to update software, and we've also put graphing calculators in the hands of all the math students at the high school. So the 1994-95 plan is well on its way to being completed.
Well, at this point, I think it would be extremely valuable for our audience to see some of our students actually working with the equipment and the software. Could you tell us a little bit about what we're going to see?
Sure. The 4 areas that you'll be seeing were chosen because they all received equipment that we purchased with these 94-95 funds. We tried to use our limited resources to, again, put technology into the hands of as many students as we could, which is why one of the reasons we put the new lab in at Hammersholt, because every 7th grade student goes through the computer literacy class for a cycle, and hence they all get to use the computers. We also recommended that the media centers be upgraded also because students go into the media center at different times during the year. The first spot we'll be seeing will be at Central Elementary School, and we'll be seeing Meredith Bressler's 5th grade class working with Betty Swerk in the media center. The next area we'll be seeing will be at Hammersholt. It's the 7th grade computer literacy class taught by Sue Kumar. The third spot we'll be seeing will be at Hammersholt also, and that will be Eileen Beck working with Sue Kleiman in the media center, learning to do or working with multimedia equipment, doing research. And the last spot will be at the high school, and we'll be viewing a honors physics lab with Ed Weston, where students will be taking measurements in the lab.
Sounds really interesting. Let's take a look at those tapes now.
Okay.
Okay, can anyone tell me the purpose of our research? Kirsten?
Like to research explorers to find out like what they did, why they're famous, and what they discovered.
Okay, so you're finding out why they're famous, what they discovered. What is the end product of our research? Miralee?
The skit, we're gonna write a skit.
Okay, we're gonna produce a skit. Anyone else? Leron?
We get a choice of either interviewing them or being with them when they explore.
And Mrs. Swerkin, I told you that your skit is to be creative. But aside from being creative, what else must it include in order to be acceptable? David?
Facts.
It must include facts. And how are you going to find the facts on your Explorer? Malika?
We do the research.
Okay, we do the research. And how do we research? Amber?
Encyclopedias and sometimes computers.
Encyclopedias and computers. Can anyone give me examples of some of the types of technology that you're using? Elizabeth?
The OPAC.
The OPAC. Randa?
The Encarta.
Encarta. Justin?
The Compton's Tandy.
Okay. And Chris?
Information Finder.
Leron?
Well, we're using CD-ROMs.
Okay, we're using CD-ROMs as well. Chris?
Children's Writing and Publishing Center.
Okay. So your skits, even though they're creative, they're still based on factual information. Why do you think it's important to include factual information in your skits? Let's see. Sawita?
Like if you don't, it's really important because like if you don't like include what things about people, are not gonna really understand it.
You're not going to understand them, Nicole?
So people really know what you're talking about.
Right, and you want to make your skit historically accurate.
The last two, yeah, the last two can help us.
Do we read the? Because
Oh, okay. Have you thought of any other ways to use children's writing and publishing? What kind of ideas did you brainstorm yesterday?
We were gonna write some things in our. Wait, why don't you go to picture?
Did you print a picture yet?
No.
No. Have you thought of what you want a picture of?
Yes, we have a picture.
Oh, you're.
Yeah, but it's made.
Oh, you're gonna. Okay. Are you gonna incorporate any pictures from the children's writing and publishing?
Well, we didn't look at it.
Okay, so you're gonna take a look and see what's available.
Looking at.
Yeah, you could look through this to see your options. What are some other pictures?
Today, Microsoft Works Lab 3. We started that yesterday. Do you remember that? What were you doing yesterday in Lab 3? Somebody, please. Shara?
We were writing our favorite music group.
Okay, you were writing about your favorite music group. We're going to continue that. And in addition to your word processing lab, we'll be adding graphics to it. What are graphics? Somebody tell me, please. Danny? Pictures? Pictures. We'll get a picture from our scrapbook. There's a scrapbook, and they have some pictures in it. We're going to get a picture from there, copy it from the scrapbook, and paste it onto your document. So you'll have a picture in addition to your text. You'll also have a picture on your document. Clipboard. Who remembers the word of the day, clipboard? I showed you yesterday what a clipboard is. Anybody remember that? I'm going to show it to you again, but just tell me what it is. Mike?
It stores the stuff that you cut from the document temporarily.
Okay, if you copy something or cut something from one place, it stores it temporarily until you're ready to paste it onto another document. All right, so that's what we'll be doing today. We're going to be retrieving our documents from our data disks and getting to the scrapbook, get a picture from there, copy it from there, and paste it onto our documents. All right, let's put the data disks in, please, at this time. Double click on the icon. Data disk icon, double click on that, please. Okay, can you all locate your own folder right there? Make sure you find your own folder, double click on the icon, and locate your lab 3. Double click on lab 3, please. Now what if you added a picture to it? Won't it look much nicer? You added colors to it, I see. You have the title has blue color, and a lot of you have changed the fonts on it. Looks very nice. Green, blue, and pink. All right, we're gonna go to scrapbook. If you look on the left-hand side under Apple, do you see the Apple icon on the extreme left on the pull-down menu? If you look there and pull down, you'll see a scrapbook right there. Go ahead. Okay, come all the way down to scrapbook, please. Okay. But he has a scrapbook with some graphic on it. Scrolling by either pressing the right arrow or the scroll box. These are all the pictures. You can even add more pictures to it later on. But for the time being, the musical note one, let's get to that, please. Scroll right here, the arrow keys. Okay, but he has that picture on the screen. Please get that musical note. We're going to copy it from the scrapbook and paste it onto our document. Now, how do we do that? How do I copy this picture, Frank?
Go to edits and justification, copy.
All right, let's try going to the edit menu, right there.
Oh, there.
So you're going to copy it right there. Now, how can I check if it got copied or not? Is there any way I can check it to make sure it's copied? What if I didn't copy it and I go to my document and I can't paste it? All right?
Go to clipboard.
All right, there's our clipboard. Good. There's a clipboard. I don't have it here right now because I'm not in my document. We'll go check it later. You were right, though. We could check in the window, under the window. There is something called a clipboard. We can check there. But now we don't have that menu available to us. So we just assume that we copied it. If not, we'll go back to it and try.
Today, all 4 computers are going to be working. When we talked about this 2 days ago, we didn't go into the different printing capabilities of each computer, okay? Just so that you remember this, and you might want to take a note. The 2 on the ends in Carta and Groliers, look for the icon for the printer. Print out the article. If you can't use the whole article, we'll give you scissors, cut it apart, share it with your groups. That's why we're working in collegial groups, right? Okay? The 2 computers in the middle, Dow Jones, the direction sheet is next to it, and Compton's has a little pink piece of paper. Follow those directions. It only prints 1 page at a time. Okay? After you print the first page, press the page down, go to the next one, and print that out. All right? All of you need to use an electronic source in the next day or 2. There are sheets next to the computer, so sign up. After you've had your turn, cross off your name, call the next person so we don't waste time waiting in line. The OPACs are up and running. You guys should know kind of the books that you've been using. And don't forget you need a note card for each different source that you use.
Look at the screen real carefully. There's a period in front of the W, so we have to go erase that.
Wait.
Well, it wouldn't be, because, you know, what happens is we really own multiple copies of some.
Do I need to put a capital?
No, that doesn't matter. There you go.
Should I take that down?
To see, well, what I would do is I would read it. Go back up a little bit. If you go back up, you can read that and see if that's going to be information you can use in your report, and we can print it for you.
Go to contents and type in calligraphy or writing. There it is. Go there. It'll give you the background and history of the written word, and that's what you want to print out.
I'm waiting for it to get done there so you can...
Okay, it talks about the limited writing systems, how it began. Here's even a picture, but you don't need the picture, so just print that. Okay? And then what you can't use, share with the other kids in your group. All right? And then cross off your name and call the next person when you're done. Klein.
Great. All right, now we have to go down, arrow 1 down, to highlight his name, right? And then hit enter. So we pull up the information on him.
Okay, and then watch how many pages it is. And then after Josh's stuff is done, yours will come next.
What we're going to be doing in the laboratory today is finishing the lab that we started last week on the force of friction. For those of you who have not completed the actual experiment, the equipment is available in the front of the room. Please be reminded, force sensor, okay, it's got to be recalibrated. You have 2 known masses. How much does this mass weigh? 5 newtons. So if we hang this on the sensor, we can make sure that it reads 5 newtons so we get this thing set up correctly. I brought out 2 wooden blocks. Hopefully they're similar to the ones you used. I had most of them the same size. Those of you who have already finished that experiment can start on the second experiment of the day. And that's the force versus acceleration function. Hopefully, as you collect your data, that you'll see that this graph comes out to be linear. Okay, we're looking for that. Hopefully, you'll discover that A is proportional to F. If the graph doesn't go through the origin, what would you suspect would be a reason? Why would we have a graph that didn't go through the origin? Big Sam, suppose the graph went like this. What's this say? What do you think? Think about it for a minute. What would this mean if a graph did not go through the origin? This would be a very strange situation. Possibility, but suppose when you have 6, 7 data points, it came out that it didn't go through the origin. Yes?
Might not have graduated the weight.
The sensor?
Yeah, the sensor.
Possibility. The sensor's not graduated or collected correctly. But I'll tell you what, this would be a very strange situation. You'd have acceleration with no force. Okay? If this is origin, this is 0, 0. Acceleration with no force. Magic. Okay? If I could get this into my car, I'd start my car up in the morning, okay, and the car would go automatically. No force. In fact, when I start the car up, just take the brake off. I'd have acceleration. Not very realistic. We would like to see the grant go through the origin. But you may find, and it's primarily due to experimental error, that your grant doesn't go through the origin. I'd like you to propose a reason. This grant can cross any place. Propose a reason why it doesn't go through the origin, because we think it should. Okay? When you get this guy done, graphically, put it on Cricut, find out the slope. Slope of a straight line graph has meaning. What does the slope mean? Okay? What does the slope of an acceleration versus force graph tell you? Okay, that's part 2 of your laboratory. You guys will be very busy today. You have 2 laboratory experiments, 1 to finish and 1 to start. If you don't have the procedure for your lab, it's over here on the desktop. Velocity, velocity versus time. Okay, there we go. The better way of averaging, you get the acceleration. You're set.
Has recorded data. Please open ready. Take any data and then it's calibrated actually.
Okay, put this guy right on the end. That's where the force is going to be applied. Very gently. Okay. Okay. You want to set that to 4.9. Okay. 9. Okay. It's pretty settled. Take reading. That should be good. Okay, now let's collect some data. Make a graph. This will be run number 1. Okay. Okay. Taking data. Okay. About 5 or 6 runs. Let's enlarge it and see what it looks like. Here. Over here on the right-hand side. Click the furthest one to the right. There you go. Okay, and there's our peaks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
Now we have to record them?
Okay.
That's how you do it.
Larger? Okay. You can get your cursor here, up to here, and you can read off the values. That's trial. Okay. Now save the trial on your disk, okay, and give it an appropriate name so that you can get it back, next week or next month if you need it. That's the great thing about your whole experiment saved.
It seems as though we are making progress with the use of technology, but there's also still a lot of work to be done if we're going to continue the excellence in our public schools here in East Brunswick. Evelyn, very recently the Technology Committee issued their long-range report, and could you give us an idea of what the general vision of that report was?
Yeah, well, this is the plan. And any good plan starts with a vision, and we spent a lot of time looking at that. We envision that students will be using computers for research in all areas of the curriculum, not just the ones we've just seen, but also foreign language, English, across the board. That resources will be available for all students. What we saw were examples and fair-sized groups of students using them, but we have 7,000 students and almost 1,000 staff members. So there's a lot still to be done. The other vision deals with training of teachers and our staff as well. Not only do students need to learn about technology, but it's an ongoing process to train staff and to get them involved actively in using technology. And finally, there's the vision of hooking everything together, not only within East Brunswick, but across the country and across the world. Again, we've had some examples of that with students conversing with students in Saudi Arabia from the middle school, and on a more local basis with our Parent Link system, which is now in most of our schools and will be expanded to the others, where teachers and parents can communicate on a daily basis.
Now, do you please explain some of the specific recommendations of the committee?
Well, of course, there are many of them, and they deal with the training, with how technology should be used in each of the subject areas, what's needed in each and every one of our schools. It's going to be expensive to really bring technology to the level in East Brunswick that other districts enjoy, and to meet our needs of our students. The estimate is that it's going to cost about $8 million over the next 5, 6, 7 years. Some people say we shouldn't spend that much because technology is always changing. And that's true, but we make good use of the technology we have. Many of our computers are more than 8 years old now and are being used daily, and there are functions for those. Yes, the technology does need to be replaced, like textbooks. After 5, 6, 7 years, it's necessary to change those too. We want our students to know who the current president is and not be working 2 or 3 presidents back. And that means we change textbooks, and we must update our technology on an ongoing basis. And that's one of the reasons the plan will extend over the next 5 or 6 years.
Well, it certainly is obvious that we have a tremendous task ahead of us, but I think also a challenging task for us here in East Brunswick.
Absolutely.
And I would like to extend my thanks and appreciation to both of you for the just fabulous work that you've done, you know, on this project. You both exhibited just, I mean, wonderful dedication and leadership. And personally, I'm very appreciative for the work that you've done, and also appreciative to our technology committee for the time, their effort, and their interest in making sure that all of the children in East Brunswick are provided with the tools and the technology and the training and utilizing them through the grades and through the middle school, the junior high, and the high school. So thank you, and thank you to the technology committee as well. To our audience, I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and hope you'll be back with us again next month when our topic will be new methods which are being utilized to assess students in the area of social studies.